Though the first word that might come to mind when you think chapel is religion, religion only plays a small role in what we do here. Chapel is a place where we convene to reflect, listen to our speakers or performers, and even sing. And based on that hymn, it looks like we have a lot of work ahead of us. This is the place you start your Westminster journey with the signing of the book and finish it with a final ceremony before graduation. Twice a week, we will meet here as a school to listen to students and faculty give chapel talks, sharing stories that are meaningful to them. Throughout your time at Westminster, you will have the opportunity to listen to countless chapel talks. I can still remember Ted Serbaugh's talk on a tragic shooting in his middle school, as he taught us about how to treat others. I remember Tim Sanford speaking about all of his coaches and how they played such an important role in his life as an athlete and a student. I also remember Matthew Murphy, our ESL student from Northern Ireland, who spoke about the entrenched religious differences in his hometown and the importance of bridging those differences. He also tied in then-candidate Donald Trump and pulled out a Make America Great Again hat, challenging us to get involved in our communities. Each chapel talk is a different story important to the speaker, and we, the listeners, get to know them better and experience the perspectives of different people. It has been these chapel talks that have encouraged me to open my eyes to so many different opportunities at Westminster. They made me want to try new things and take a step way outside my comfort zone, and consequently meet people I wouldn't have otherwise met through sports, clubs, and weekend activities. And this idea of stepping out of one's comfort zone is one I want to talk a little more about. No matter what, after trying something new, you will always get something out of it, even if in the end you decide it isn't for you. For example, my first experience at Westminster was a very quick demotion to the 4th soccer team. Special shout out to the 2015 Quad Squad. At first, it was a challenging realization to me that my soccer skills weren't quite at the 3rd level. But with optimism from Nate Swift and motivation from Coach Dixon, that season, I was on one of the most fun teams I've ever been on. I can still remember our game against Avon Fitz. We had a very strong start to the game, holding off all of their attempts at goals. On defense, Justin Liu received a pass and quickly shot at net, going far down and in. The entire team uproared with excitement and celebration. Despite the small issue that the goal was on the wrong net, the game, we ended up losing 0-10 because we played hard until the bitter end and celebrated everything we could, even our incredible far down own goal. The following season, I tried squash, though again, like soccer, I quickly found out that it was not my specialty. The school went so far as to create a new 4th squash team for those of us that needed a little extra help. Now fast forward to the fall of my sophomore year. After deciding maybe soccer wasn't for me, I made the switch to football. Obviously, you all know how that worked out. By the way, loving 3rd soccer this year. I am not a very big kid, yet somehow, by the end of the football season, I ended up returning kicks against full-grown people. It was okay though, because they only kicked it to me every single time. And each time, I would drop the kick out of raw fear, and then scramble to pick up the ball, close my eyes, and just run. I also wouldn't really make it that far before getting violently thrown to the ground. For our entire football program that season last fall, we had 1 JV win. Yep, that's it. Still, it was a season where we had to show grit. And I think I speak for everyone on that team when I say we were proud to be a part of it. Every game, we would go out more excited than the one before and play as hard as we could. In fact, some games you might say we were a little too excited. You know who you are. Keeping in the spirit of going outside my comfort zone, during the track season of my sophomore year, we got new equipment for pole vaulting. So when Mr. Hughley asked if anyone wanted to try it, I was all over the idea. And no offense, Mr. Hughley, but I think it's safe to say we had no idea what we were doing. Throughout the season, I turned to YouTube for help. Though as it turns out, most of the videos on YouTube aren't actually how to pole, but rather how not to pole. Poles breaking, people slamming into the giant metal bars, and completely missing the mat were just some of the various incidents I had the pleasure of seeing. I encourage you to look up pole vaulting fails on YouTube. I promise it'll make your day. Still, I wouldn't let these frightening videos stop me from getting into what I found out was actually a very fun sport. Through trying all of these various teams and sports, I have met with people who are some of my closest friends today, and I've had a ton of fun in the process. So as we start off this year, I encourage all of you not to simply do whatever your friends are doing, but rather to branch out and do what you think sounds fun. So try something new, show up to something you've never been to, and take a step outside your comfort zone. Thank you.